Hi guys, welcome to the Leicester City Sheffield Wednesday review. So if Leicester win tonight, they will go up for sure and probably will go up champions. But they've got to have results go their way tomorrow as well. But they have played very well this year. They used that heartbreak from last year to motivate them a lot to get to where they are this year. I'm hoping we don't get stuck like we did against Watford. This game will be interesting because they have a very powerful and pacey attack. And it'll be interesting to see what the team react to having Stuart Gray back on the touchline. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, because he wasn't there, they weren't playing for it. Not a case, I think we would have got beat by Watford anyway. They're a good team. The team news is Kirtland, Buxton, Antonio, Onyewu, Maguire, Matip, Lee, Palmer, Lavery, Louvens and Beth. The subs are JJ, Coke, Halan, Martinez, Afobe, Lira and Newhugh. So that's a good team for me. It's quite attacking to a point, so it'll be good to see what happened. It's good to see Lavery back. It'll just be interesting to see how he plays, and it'll be good to see how Antonio Coke continues to coming back from injury. Let's hopefully see if we can get 3 points. Right, so Leicester could go up tonight if they win in the results that weekend go their way. We kick on left to right. Kirtland called into action after Onyewu made a mistake with his clearance, and they come forward at speed with Nugent. They get a good cross in, and we are playing very deep, and they started well Leicester, and you didn't really expect them not to. As I said at the start, they have a very fast and powerful players in game. They play that way. They get the cross into Kirtland, did not move, and that was so close for them. Kirtland didn't move from the spot when the shot came in. Sorry, I missed a note there. Beth and Antonio lose the ball, and they got the ball and they came forward again. Good defending by Buxton, and they are very much on top of them, and they are the team in form. Buxton and Lavery do well with linking up. They go 1-0, they had the lead, and to be fair, it was coming, and it was really bad defending by us though. We just stood off. Matip was very poor in the run-up to the goal. Nugent had the shot, and then another ball goes in, a knockout. It was poor, but he got around our left back, which is Matip, way too easily for me. Pardon me. And we're just not holding the ball up very well, and we need to keep it for a bit and not panic with it, and just be able to play a little bit more. We won a free kick, and it didn't really come to anything. A long throw in from Mikel Antonio come to nothing. They break yet again, but we managed to clear it up. But we give them the ball again, and it's things like that. We're just not keeping the ball very well. Ball retention is just really poor at the minute, and it just feels like we're getting out-muscled in midfield and mullering us in midfield, to be fair. Palmer with a good pass for Lavery, but it's just too heavy. Antonio has a shot and makes a good save from Kappa Michael, and it was a great run at the same time. Palmer's had a couple of the shots which were very good, and I've seen a bit on Twitter that he was getting a little bit slated, but we've had 4 shots, 4 attempts, and all 4 have been on target, which is good. We've had 37% of possession, and Leicester has had 63. Good bit of play in the last 10 minutes. We did really well. Nugent wins a foul, and he works very hard for Leicester. He does a lot of the tracking back, and he's just a very good player. I think it's 20 goals he's got this season. That's incredible. They tried to get around our back four, but we are doing better now. Maguire and Beth limp a little bit in the first half, but not too badly. It's nothing that scene could come off. But we are standing off them a little bit too much. So much for Gray saying, well, we want to be in the faces. And we are slowly getting back into doing that, and it's good to see. But Antonio, with the jinking run, drops the shoulder, cuts in, and keeps going, and then takes a shot, and it's a great shot. It's a very powerful shot. Kappa Michael gets a touch to it, but wasn't good enough touch, and it's 1-1. And it's a great time to get the goal because it's about 32 minutes in. But the fact that we were 1-0 down after 10 minutes, which isn't good, but we did come back into it, and we came out playing a little bit better a little bit better in the game, and we really come into the game well. Beck runs, makes a run, good link up with Palmer, and Palmer goes to play it to Maguire. It's just a poor pass by Palmer. And I've seen a lot of people have a go at him on Twitter about how he's playing, and he's playing really well for me. Very good. I'm very happy that he is signed for another 3 years because he's such a good talent. And we need to start building our team around players from the youth team a little bit and giving them chance, showing the likes of Lavry and Palmer, showing the academy or development squad that you can get into this team if you work hard. Great cross by Maguire, and he wins the corner. Palmer gives away a free kick and he picks up a yellow card. To be fair, it looks like the player just runs into Palmer, and his momentum makes it look like Palmer got in his way. But apart from that, at half time, 1-0's a very good goal line for us. We are playing very, very well. Now we got back into the game a little bit, but it's good to see us doing okay. And hopefully in the second half we can either A, cause an upset, but hope they don't come out the guns or come out the second half all blazing. You know what I meant by the analogy. So we get back into it. Luke Varney got interviewed at half time, and it was a good interview to be fair, but as you can imagine he's all Leicester, he's a fan, and I think it's always difficult when you're doing a game where you're a fan of the opposition club, but he handled it well and you expect him to say all the right things. Just on one little note, Guy Sports, BBC Radio 5 Live were very biased towards Leicester tonight. It was quite off-putting with that one. But Onyewu goes off, he's picked up a rib injury to Liaison, so you really hope he's going to be alright for the next game on Tuesday against Forest. Leuven played well and put a good tackle in on Nugent. Lavry gets fouled late and wins a free kick, but we don't. The free kick comes in and we get it sorted, and Maguire has a shot on the half volley and it goes wide. Matic wins a free kick, but they come forward again very, very quickly. It's really bad that halfway through this, we've had so many injuries at the back this year, and we really have. Lavry with a shot come cross, and it was very poor to be fair. Good pressure by the Leicester defence. Good pressure by us on the Leicester defence, making them try and make mistakes. But they come forward very quickly and they get the ball. But we are doing a little bit better. What Gray wanted was to get in the faces, and we had done a lot better with that this half. Hang on, lost what I was reading. Antonio gets the ball and wins a free kick. Beth has had the ball to Palmer, and he shoots and it's blocked, and Lavry picks it up. But then during that bit of play, Leuven's it down, and that's not good. And Kirtland and Leuven were both making signs that he needed to come off, and him coming off sees Coke on. So it's really unlucky. We are really unlucky at the back this season. Palmer gets in, and Beck gets his header to it, but Antonio does well to get the ball back. Palmer's having a great game for me, to be fair. Taylor Fletcher comes on for Leicester, and you're thinking, oh, not another player who, whenever he played against us, seemed to like playing it, getting something against us. Lee gives away a free kick as he's coming back. Knockout with an amazing free kick, to be fair, top corner, but it would have been better if Kirtland has positioned himself a lot better. He was so far off his line, you could tell if he was on his line he would have got to it. He was just so far off he couldn't get to it, so very poor by Kirtland. For someone who pretty much been on form pretty much all season. And that's 63 minutes in, you just hope that was going to be the only goal. And Antonio looked like he was hobbling. Lavry wins the corner, but it was good to see that we were not giving up. And I actually wanted to see Antonio probably go off at the 75th, 80th minute just to not risk him re-aggravating that injury because he's just come back. Our corner comes in, but they go on the counter so easy. Lavery comes off and New Hugh comes on. And that was a bit of an interesting one. New Hugh did play well when he came on. Like I said, I thought it might be a bit of a risk. We went to a 4-4-2 then. New Hugh goes forward and does really well holding up the ball and wins the corner. Maguire with a shot on the volley from the corner and it was very good, straight out of the training ground. Palmer did well to force a throw-in. New Hugh was very poor there by New Hugh with a very, very poor pass. And he should have passed it to Antonio. It's really difficult with New Hugh because you kind of have the whole thing, if he goes on a run he'll do well and get his confidence up, but he'll do things like that and you're like, is it there? And I still think he, for his first season in the Championship, it's been about him getting to know it, and I think he's done that now, and I just hope he can push on next year. I'm going to try and find some of the most bits in the game now, come rambling. Antonio goes down to what looks like an elbow to the face, and there's no card for the player who did it, and no free kick. There was a drop ball. But to say that Leicester top of the league, we put a very good credit of ourselves tonight. Yes, losing the game is not what you want to see, but we did very, very well. Lee takes a shot, Palmer has a shot, and New Hugh bundled over in the box. I put Bard here actually, and it should have been a pen. And Antonio with the chance. New Hugh does well, and he manages to get the ball back and tried to run on to pass it on. But there was 6 minutes at the time, which kind of took everyone a bit by surprise. Best does well to win what you think is a corner, but it actually comes off the corner flag. And when things like that happen, you just know Leicester got all the luck tonight. Great effort tonight by the lads though. I still think we deserved the point because we played very, very well in the second half. Came back into it. We kind of stopped their attack a lot. Hopefully Lubens and Onyeru will be fit for Tuesday game against Forest. We are on 48 points right now. I'm just hoping that some games tomorrow on Saturday go for us, and normally the look of the draw is they never do, so we're just going to have our fingers crossed. We do have a tough run incoming. We've got Forest next, so they'll be wanting to do well at the weekend and do well on Tuesday with them having Stuart Pearce taking over for the remainder of the season there for them. So we're just going to have to see how they do. I just don't want new manager syndrome to hit us. But great credit of ourselves tonight. Played very, very well. I'm just going to hope that Luvens, Onyeru and probably Lavery and Antonio injuries are not too bad, because Lavery picked up a little bit and Antonio, you don't want him to risk it again. But well played tonight, lads.